Hey everybody, look what you can do with Clover's French Knitter. Hi, I'm Carol Porter, Education Director for Clover Needlecraft, and I'd like to welcome you today to our video presentation on the French Knitter. Who remembers the wooden spool with finishing nails that your father or grandfather made for you? Well, I got something to show you. This is our French Knitter. It has interchangeable caps with 4, 5, and 6 pegs and a hook. If you're strolling down the aisle of your favorite craft store, this is what you're looking for. This is Clover's take on an old classic. No matter what fiber you choose or how many pegs you choose for the top of your French Knitter, you're going to have to pre-string your beads. And we use this threader, which is long and slender. The nice thing about it is you can pick your beads up easily and you can put a ton of them on here. This is probably the most time-consuming part of the whole thing, and if you can put 20 on at a time, that's fabulous. What we're going to do is insert our thread, and then it's very simple. You just slide the beads right down. If you're looking for this in the store, this is what these threaders look like. I've got 5 pegs on here, but I'd like to use 4, so I'm just going to show you that you can take this off and put the chosen number of pegs on. The next thing that you're going to want to do, you've got your thread beaded. You're going to drop the end down through the center, hang on to the end, and wrap your pegs, one right after the other. Once your pegs are wrapped, the next thing you want to do is bring your fiber to the front of the first peg, take your hook, go down in there and get it on the hook, lift it up and over and off the peg. That's the knit stitch. As you're making jewelry, and that's what most people are doing with this, you want to remember to do about 2 or 3 rows of just knitting with no beads whatsoever. That gives you space to put your finding on. Now it's time to introduce the beads. You'll notice I have a wonder clip. This is holding the beads so they're up close to where I can work with them. This was my last stitch right here, and the next thing I'm going to do is slide the stitch between the pegs and make my next stitch. When we slide the bead between the pegs and make the stitch, it's actually trapping the bead right between, and that's what's going to hold the bead into your jewelry. Now you'll notice I'm dropping beads between every peg. You get the choice of doing every other peg, 1 peg, or however many pegs you want in order to create the design that you desire. You'll notice right here I have a little mark that tells me where I started. I also want to tell you, this is one of the most exciting parts. If you're anxious to see how you're doing, all you need to do is take the lid off and take a look at how much you've done so far and if you like it or not. This is a good place to make a decision whether you like your design. One of the most frequently asked questions is, how do I cast off or end this? So I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now. What you're going to do is, if you have any beads left over, move them out of the way, and you want to cut your thread at about 6 inches. You're going to go ahead and make your stitch like you normally do. So there's our knit stitch, only this time you're going to pull that thread out, and what that's doing is closing off the stitch and taking it off the loom. One of the other really exciting things about French knitting is the fact that you can use so many different fibers. We're using things from wire, embroidery floss, leather, ribbon, and yarn. Clover's package instructions will tell you how to cast on, do your stitches, and cast off. But if you want to make jewelry, I've written this book called Making Jewelry with the French Knitter. This book will answer a lot of your questions about how many beads do I use and what kind of fibers are appropriate. It has lots of inspiration and some great illustrated patterns. Thank you so much for visiting with us today. I sure enjoyed my sharing of French Knitter with you. If you'd like more information, please go to clover-usa.com.